Oh,
I beat Salmonella. Okay. Oh, Mr. Oh, idiot got me.
Okay. We should be live. Good. So, hello. Basically, what's going to be happening this evening, it's now 8 o'clock. British Standard Time or whatnot. But yes, basically, I'm flying some on-air missions today. I've got my employees, which you don't know about, which I'll talk to you about in a sec, what I've got going on air at the moment. You will hear some other voices because I am also on a friend's Discord. So they know I'm streaming, but I am on a push to talk to them. So they won't hear me as I talk right now unless I switch on my push to talk, which will sound when it like this when it goes on or off. That beep boop, that's me going on or off of Discord. So yeah, you will hear them. I am not responsible for what they say, but they do know I'm streaming, so maybe they might moderate things. I don't know. Maybe they won't. But yes, they're completely not related to the stream at all, but I do want to stay in contact with them because we're hanging out. Anyway, so in on air, what is going on? So at the moment, I have. Let's go to my employees. I did hire some employees from the last time. So I've got 3 pilots. This guy Jonas is kind of middling. He's okay, but Judy's a little bit better, but still pretty middling. But she's far cheaper. And then we also have Lisa. Lisa's the
maul some people.
Even though she's actually paid less than Jonas, she's actually the best
Smash
pilot
some
by far.
heads.
So yes, basically,
Oh,
I'm going to
Mr. Gambler here.
down the volume of these guys a little bit, though, just
Okay.
my own benefit.
is that the maul that people used to run
Yeah,
around
so,
with that was,
basically,
like, just one-shot weapon?
They
This is still the one-shot weapon.
scooping up lots of missions for me. They've earned me lots of money. The company's worth some good cash right now.
Like that.
I think balance sheet's what I need. Yeah, so we're worth nearly $1 million now.
But with the
we've done a couple of
swing
big
delays,
missions.
It's really like block, like
I can't remember if I already had an FBO in Portland, but I do now. I've got one in
so fucking
in Portland and Darrington, so I do plan on moving some operations down there, and I do have the scenery for that. I think I mentioned I had the scenery last time I streamed, but now I definitely I don't think I had the FBO, but now I definitely do. I think we still got the same aircraft, so
oh my God,
I've still got the 182. I'm still flying the Ovation,
they keep missing.
and the
Otherwise
Caravan
I'd be
here.
fine playing
I've rented a Caravan again, but just because there was a lot of outstanding missions I'd accepted when I was renting a Caravan for myself. So I've re-rented one, and my best pilot, Lisa, is running around and doing that. Although at the moment it's not her, it's actually Judy that's flying it because Lisa was sleeping and I needed to get some missions mopped up. So Judy's out there. She's just returning from 1 Whiskey Alpha 6 back to Darrington, and then she's
especially when you don't have friends
doing a work order which I've got set out for her. So she's going to be flying for a little while. She's going to be doing some flying over to.
You have the game, don't you? Or
yeah, she's going from Darrington over to Iron Crown.
I think it's on sale as well,
and taking some electronic devices. I think that's just. I think that might complete that mission. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure, or maybe not. And then
basically,
she's going to fly back.
And little dude,
little
come
dwarf
back
with that
there with a crossbow.
And then down here we.
That's supposed to be like a little.
I'm going to mute these guys while I talk to the intro bit.
Basically.
But yeah, basically she's then going to be flying backwards and forwards doing these executives. We've got 32 executives to bring back. To 1S2 from Tailskid Ranch. So Tailskid Ranch, to be honest, that's largely it. Otherwise, just mopping up a few jobs just beforehand. So she's going to be busy doing that for a long old while. I've also got Jonas in the 182. Set him up a little work order. He's just going to head over to Darrington and then just fly some cargo that we had there. And then I'm going to see what else I want him to do once he gets to Boeing, King County, or whatever it is. But he's not going to be starting that for a little while yet. In the meantime, what I'm doing, this flight that I'm going to start initially, is I think it's this one here. We've got a big old, one of these, we've got a big old payment awaiting. So it's not this, but I will do that at some point. Or have we outsourced that one? I think we outsourced this one, this executive's part of the flight. Maybe it's this one. Yes, it's this one here. So in order to get this nice big payout, I need to take passengers, basically. I need to do this little short flight. So I'm going to do a couple of hops. So I've got to fly from Darrington over to 74S. Then I'm going to do a couple of hops to Diamond Point, back to Anacortes, and then back to there again. So I'm probably going to have to do 2 flights, or maybe 3, I don't know, 2 flights I guess, to Diamond Point with the passengers to complete that. So we'll end up at 2 Whiskey Alpha. We'll see what's left to be done there after that, and we'll see if there's any other missions we can mop up after that. So that's what we're doing today. And with that in mind, I've got enough fuel to get me over to where I need to be, and to do the first hop as well, potentially. I don't need to take anything from us here at Darrington, and I've got more than enough fuel on board, so I can actually just confirm and fly now. The aircraft is loaded into the sim. Yes, I know I'm not going to be... no. And I can start the tracking. So we are in sim loaded up. Let me show you the flight plan we've got going on today. So it is IFR conditions pretty much. I'm hoping I can get down here. Okay, but basically we're going to come out of Darrington and we're actually going to turn northeast, follow the river up as we go past Rockport and Concrete, going past Mears Field there, and then we're actually going to be climbing from the Alix waypoint. I'm actually going to fly just slightly north of Alix. I'm not going to be dead on it. Up to the Colonel waypoint here, keep climbing. Well, we'll probably be at altitude there, about 6,000 feet. And then come across here to Bacon, cross to Candle, expecting, I think it's runway 17 that they have here from memory. 18. So yeah, that's where I'm thinking of coming in. Looking at the weather here, at Whidbey Island, we've got 170 and 180 there, so I'm expecting a southerly wind here. So that's the route we're taking. It's kind of somewhat just sort of come across and then loosely following Victor 165, but I won't be on it. I'll be descending all the way down on my approach at that point. So that's what I plan to fly. I've no idea if that would be a legitimate flight plan in real life. I've tried to make it so, but it's a bit hard, I find, here at Darrington. You know, I don't know if I can use these Tango Airways here or not, if they're something I'm able to use, I don't know. And otherwise there's no real airways here, and I don't want to get involved in Seattle airspace down here, and I don't really want to get involved too much in Whidbey Islands Class Charlie if I can help it. Plus I need to enter Anacortes from the north anyway, so this seemed like a logical way of getting up to here. I mean, I could fly straight there, but I'd have to climb pretty quickly over the mountains there, so I thought this just seemed like a good idea. Anyway, so that's what we're doing. I'm just going to quickly check and see if Anacortes has charts. I don't think it will, but let's just double check. You never know, and it does not, so we won't worry about that. That's weird, it doesn't even have that other little route that's on the... Anyway, so that's what we're going to be flying there. Don't need Navigraph charts for this flight yet. Little lav map. I've got that running. Let me just bring that over onto the main screen. So I've got the flight plan actually in there. We're going to be flying at 6,000 feet. I can remove that airport traffic pattern. So yeah, we're going to climb out. The route's all in there. Fuel's all been calculated. I've got more than enough. Block of 31. I've got 53 on board already, so I've got more than enough for this first flight. Performance, yeah. Anyway, so that's the flight plan in there, and you can see we've got more than enough clearance. Yeah, and we're going to be what? Oh, so I don't know if it's telling me the distance to where I need to be at that point or what. Not entirely sure. Anyway, so that's all loaded in. So we're going to sort of have that in view as we fly. So everything's all good there. So now it's just actually flying it in flight sim. So that's what we're going to do now. So anyway, I'm going to fire Discord back up anyway, so these guys can, so I can talk to these guys as well if I need to.
Got killed by the rock.
So let's
Oh, fuck.
do things right. So let's boot up the master battery. So let's go. Proper mixture all the way forward. Throttle is back. I'm going to make sure I want to be on the left tank. So I'm on the left tank. We're all selected. That's all good. Let's get the beacon light on because we are. I've got my alpha yoke working for FSU IPC now anyway, so I can do a few of these switches without having to actually do the switches. If you follow my meaning, I'm going to add a little bit of. If I can do it.
He jumped up
do
so
I
he
want
can
glare
hit
shield
me.
or do I want these ones? These. I don't know which
shit.
one I want there. Anyway, we'll worry about that in a second. Okay, so that's all that. We're all good to go. So let's fuel pump. So I'm going to crack the throttle a little bit. Fuel pump on.
Your flight will be monitored until you land and shut down the engines.
Fuel pump off. That's all done. Parking brake is set. Everything looks good there.
God damn.
We're good to start. Clear prop and all that.
Have you got less stamina or something?
No, his,
So we got to
I started with
start.
lower
The
stamina.
cylinder head temperature is on the way up.
I'm gonna put like a
The oil pressure is looking
really fucking
fine.
annoying weapon
Oil
on,
temperature's
like
coming up. That's all good. I'm going to lean
rapier.
to peak EGT on the
Let's
ground,
stab
which
him
is going to be
constantly.
in the sort of
I
mid
used to enjoy doing
fives,
that
which
with
is
the
about
Star.
there. And
too
I'm going to
late.
throw on the alternator.
I'll be a tiny
We've
little
got
midget
positive
and stab
amps.
everyone.
It's all good.
Light
Let's
armor.
throw on the avionics. And I don't get any avionics. Interesting. Oh, very, very interesting. We literally have
There it is.
no avionics whatsoever. We have the old avionics bug, so it looks like I'm going to have to reload the scenario. Let's try a restart, but I don't think that works. I think I actually need to reboot the sim to get around this.
Time in the simulator went backwards.
Yes, it did, because I
Tracking
cancelled it.
paused. Crash
So-
detection not active.
Okay, let's go back to OnAir and just... I'm going
What
to
else
abort the
can I
flight for a
have?
minute
I can
until
have,
we've got everything all working
Flight
again.
aborted
Shield.
by user.
It's annoying.
Harge, no, I want a buckler.
Right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to fire up the...
I love javelins as well, just so I can piss people off.
Okay, right. So everything's working there now. So we're all good. So let's try again then. Last time didn't work just with a restart of the scenario, so that's good to know.
I'm feeling it.
Prepare. Confirm and go fly. And I go into 74S and a quarters, flight tracking page. I know I've not got any passengers. Whoops, I caught the mic, start tracking.
Like it's
We're getting there.
bunched up on me. I should duck more. You can still duck.
Okay, tracking's all good. Let's get back to it again then. So, get everything set as
that was a
before. Battery
fast
on.
one.
beacon light is on. I'm just flicking the switches just to align them with my yoke again because I forgot to reset them. So that's all good. We're all good there. Let's fuel boost
Your
pump. We've got
flight
some
will
fuel
be
flow,
monitored
which is
until you
good.
land
We're on
and
the left
shut
tank
down the
still.
Oh,
engine.
I should have ducked that one.
Throttle back to idle. Go for a start.
You do barely any damage to that little pokey stick.
We have a
Most of the
start.
time you're doing like 20 damage.
P's and T's
Oh,
all
God.
good.
No, that was a hit for 5.
Alternator
for
in, positive
example.
amps.
I have to hit the
Avionics,
head.
which we have. We're all good to go, and I'm going to make sure that the transponder is on.
Oh,
Yeah, but that's
on,
very, very high
altitude
up for you,
mode.
mate.
it is right. I have to jump up.
Okay, so everything's good there. I'm going to throw on my nav lights while I'm here. And I'm going to set the rudder trim for takeoff at this point in time. Ooh, too much there, Sev. 30% is what I usually go for. Thank you for notifying me there. I'm just going to check the altimeter at the
Oh my god, how much
nearest
damage does
airfield,
take?
which I believe
Oh, he got
is
healed.
Arlington
He probably
to
got
me
healed from
here.
that
I've got a little
kill,
mobile
yeah.
phone app.
Yeah.
I've got the METAR from there,
I got my
and it's
big
given us
dude.
2.969 at the
With a
moment. So
tiny little knife.
2.969. There we go. So we need to set up, before we do anything else really, we need to set up a flight plan. I'm going to
Oh
set
my
the
God.
throttle to idle,
Fucking
set peak
third party,
EGT, which I
bitch.
forgot to do. I'm going to set the throttle,
Lost,
to 10,000
all my stamina
1,000
killing that guy.
RPM, or thereabouts, which is about there. Peak EGT is in the early 6s. There we go.
Ooh.
And we're good, and just let me make sure all these
Yep.
temps are coming up, which is fantastic. So that's all good. I can turn on the elevator trim before I forget. Now let's go across here and start working on our flight plan. So I'm going to go to the flight plan page, and we are at 1 Sierra 2 Darrington Municipal. There we go. And yeah, I don't really have a way that I know of adding waypoints to get me around the mountain. So I'm going to add Colonel as the first actual waypoint. I believe is probably the best bet. Or actually no, what's the one I fly past? Let's go to Sky Vector quickly. It's the one I fly past. It's Alex. So let's throw
Otherwise,
Alex
I'm
in there as the
go
next
eat.
one.
Alright,
I'm
mate.
thinking about watching the boys like starting now. I haven't watched any of it yet.
It's real good.
Alex, okay.
New episode came out today. Although, I'm going to have to wait till Lizzie comes back.
Alex, there we go. So that's going to be
Press
the
the
first waypoint we actually
Press the wrong button.
fly to. Then Colonel, so C.
Yeah, it's on Amazon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me give that a watch. I watched the first couple episodes. Is the first season good?
NEL.
Yeah. It's all really good. It's a
Nice.
very tongue-in-cheek take on like the event.
Superheroes and stuff.
Yeah, exactly that.
Colonel, then I
Cool.
believe it's
Alright,
Bacon.
I like that. I'll take a look.
Is it on?
Alright, boys, I'll catch you later. I might not come back on tonight. I'm gonna go to bed early because I got to wake up at like 8.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
Alright, good night, boys. If I don't catch you.
Take it easy.
Bacon. There we go. Yes, K1. And leave that there for now, because I'll decide what approach we're doing later when we get there. Now I want to know why my interesting, my push to talk option that I've set in Discord doesn't work when I use the flight sim. So that's interesting. I wonder if that's FSU IPC. as long as I'm not in the flight sim. So I'm going to make sure that I don't have an assignment for it in the flight sim that could be getting in the way. That's my input. Nothing there. Oh, that's really annoying. That seemed like a really good option for talking. Maybe I could use joy to key then. Let me use that instead. So I know that's that. So if I bring up joy to key, it's a really good little app for converting joystick inputs into something else. There we go. So that's let's figure out a key that I can use that's going to be fine. Can I set on Discord? Oh, that actually does do things. Okay, I can't do that then. If that button picked up. No, that button isn't picked up by Discord. Oh, this is annoying. I didn't really want to be doing this while we're in stream. Ah, I know why it is. Discord needs to be in administrator mode. That's what it is, to get priority over things. So let me restart Discord a second. Discord, right click, run as administrator. Now my original setting should actually work. And then we can get on with doing what I'm supposed to be doing here.
Yep.
Just trying to set the push to talk keybind. Ah, hello.
Oh.
Yeah, that's working now. I needed to put Discord as administrator so that I could... Otherwise, if I switched to Flight Sim, my push-to-talk key wouldn't work anymore because Flight Sim is running as administrator. So,
How weird.
yeah, no, Discord did give me a warning. I just completely forgot. But there you go. Right, so everything's all loaded into the flight plan and everything. There, we are all good to go. So, all that's left to do now is see if I can get some... instrument lights on the go. I don't need any glare shield, I don't think. No, we'll leave the glare shield off. So we're flying at 6,000 feet today, so that's what we're going to have it in on there. I'm going to put the flight directors on, so everything's ready to rock there. And vertical speed, we will climb out at a nice, cool 1,000 feet a minute will be fine. Good stuff. Right, everything's set there. We're going to set to the GPS for that. So let's think about taxiing out, shall we? So let's get onto the CTAF and go for runway choice, and I'm going to go for runway 28.
1 Sierra 2 traffic November 983 Sierra Lima is taxiing to runway 28.
Okay, after all that hiccup and everything, we should be good to go. So just making sure everything's good there. Controls are free. Everything's all good there. Lovely. So let's get our taxi lights on. Let's get out of here. So park and brake is off. I'm still lean for the ground. And yeah, let's go. Keeping down ailerons as we go. Oh, need a bit more on the old throttle. Come on. There we go. Yeah, she's a bit reluctant to go. There's definitely a bit of wind. Come on. She's definitely being slow. There we go. Just trying to make sure that I keep us behaving nicely. Should probably use a bit more aileron, but there you go. There we go, that'll be alright. It's a nice warm day, it's just terrible conditions. I don't know what the visibility is here exactly at Darrington. I could check the it's 6 at Arlington, so it'll probably be a little bit less here, I would imagine. Yeah, sorry dude, I am streaming on YouTube at the minute, so I will be sort of cutting my voice in and out, but you can chat away if you need to.
Yeah, no worries.
If you feel inclined to chat away.
I'm just chilling out watching some Twitch at the moment anyway.
Nice, nice.
I wanted to play Star Renegades because it's on the Xbox Game Pass at the moment.
Alright.
It just doesn't work for me for some reason. Really irritating. It's not the first game I've had this, but like, it's maybe this Microsoft thing doesn't register properly.
I see what you mean, yeah.
So I'm just stuck.
Right, let's
like,
throw in some
splash
flaps.
screen. Really irritating.
Oh, so it's not like the game doesn't work, as in like it's just not for you, it's just the game literally doesn't work.
Yeah, yep, exactly that. And I've like commented about this on Reddit before, and I just got downvoted for it. It's just like, oh, for God's sake, I just want somebody to help.
Right, we're approaching the hold short mark. So we're just going to have a little look around, make sure everything's clear before we go any further forward. Let's have a little look-see. No one's on final for runway 10, and it all looks clear for runway 2, whatever it is. 28. Is it runway 28? Yeah. So, I've already got stage of flaps in, that's all good. Takeoff trim is set, rudder trim is set also. What are we going to do? We're going to fly runway heading, which I'm going to set now. Oh, the click spots. Oh, the click spots. We'll fly runway heading until about 500 feet, and then we'll turn around. and start making our way down the pass. I'm probably going to initially climb to about maybe 1,500 feet and follow VFR as much as I can around these valleys. So that's what we're going to do. Anyway, so let's get on to the runway. I'm going to announce that I'm departing to the north.
1 Sierra 2 traffic November 9er 8 3 Sierra Lima taking off runway 28 north departure.
So let's get going. Taxi lights off. Let's get the landings and strobes on and the recognition lights. Full rich on the mixture. Get ready for a crosswind takeoff. Everything all looks good. I think we're all okay. Fuel is on the left tank, so we're all good there. I believe there's nothing else at this stage that needs to be done, so we are all good for takeoff. Let's get going. So I'm going to do a full power takeoff. No, I'm not. I'm going to do 25 inches, I think. So let's set 25. There's 25 on the manifold pressure. Get back on the centerline if I can. I've got some aileron into the wind, a little bit too much by the look of it. And there's 70 knots. We're going to rotate.
Airborne time logged.
Positive rate. We'll get the gear up. And I'll get the flaps up too. Continue climbing out. I'm actually not going to go too much higher than this, maybe keep it at 1,000 feet. The visibility is terrible actually. I thought the visibility would be a bit better than this. So I'm going to just turn pretty sharply round here then, and we'll aim straight for the river if I can, which is a bit further round. Just keep the climb going in. Flying in these conditions is definitely a bit trickier than I was expecting. We're doing alright, we'll just keep flying like this for now. I'm going to bring the heading... Oh, I keep bringing myself around to the left, I need to stop doing that. Let's get the autopilot on at this stage. That's going to fly us 1,000 feet per minute where we need to be. Start bringing us round. I don't want to go too far over. I'm going to increase the rate of climb as well. Not 2,100. That's silly. Oh, these click spots. Oh, these click spots. 1,800 feet a minute. That's what I want. Now let's come round. Nope, we're not on heading hold, that would be a good idea. So far this has been a terrible example of how to fly IFR. Currently at 5,000, I'm just going to check Sky Vector and just see what our safe altitude is around here. Yeah, we're going to need to be a little bit higher, so I'm probably going to get myself up to 8,000. Let's drop the rate of climb back a little bit. 1,500 feet a minute will be fine now. Landing lights off. Recognition lights I'll leave on. Losing power because I didn't have the mixture leaned out enough just at that point. I'm looking for 1,200 feet a minute at this stage. I'm going to turn back to follow the river a little bit more now. Now I'm going to bring that. No, we're okay with 1,200 if she can hold. There's 7,000, so now I'm going to bring the rate of climb back to about 500. At this stage, keep the power up as we go. So I'm just activating the correct legs of the flight plan. 246 magnetic is the course that we will be on. Ish. 246. There it is. Oh, we've just come up at 8,000 feet, so let's get altitude hold mode on. I'm going to bring the prop RPM back to 2,300. Let's lean the mixture out until we hit peak, which is about there, and then as it comes back I'm going to hold it back in the blue arc again. Ooh, very sensitive there as we're leaning, but there we go. Probably bring that back a bit. It's going to change as I bring the power back in a sec. So we're going to cruise at about 20 inches. Just trying to get that prop RPM set nicely. Let's bring the power back now to 20 inches. I'm just also moderating the mixture to keep us in the blue arc as I hit 20 inches there. There we go. I want to get 20 inches just as it turns off at 19 inches, which is about there. I can just introduce a little bit more mixture, get us in the blue arc, and there we are. So we're past, or we're coming up to Alex now, which is fine. I've completely forgot to do any ATC here, so I'm just going to request flight following in the game. I'm not going to file a flight plan, because they make you go all over the place. Let's do this properly. 0546 0546. I don't. Yeah, the transponder. Yeah, the transponder doesn't seem to work in this, but yeah, there we go.
0546 Tree Sierra Lima. Tree Sierra Lima radar contact 4 miles south.
29.71, so we'll just correct our altimeter, which puts us bang on 8,000 feet, which is great. There we go, we are cruising. We're just turning now to intercept the GPS course here. Let's bring out that rudder trim as well. There we go. It's utterly miserable, can't see a thing. Proper IFR conditions. Yeah, interesting. According to little nav map, I'm well off course, but how true that is. Sky Vector, we will clip some mountains there, but yeah, interesting. So now it's telling me I'm to the left, so let's get back on course there. If I put the autopilot in nav hold, let's see how well it holds it this time round. Now, according to little nav map, which I'm trying to put on the screen for you guys to see now. There we go.
3 Sierra Lima, contact Victoria approach on 132.7. 132.73 Sierra Lima. Victoria approach November 9er,
So,
3 Sierra Lima, 8,000.
According to little nav map, the weather is going to be light rain. And then runway 18 is definitely what we can expect. So that's fine. So with that in mind, let's see. We do have PAPI lights. I know that it is lit. I'm assuming there is there's no approaches or anything like that into this, so this is going to be interesting. So how are we going to find it then? Well, I'm looking here, Whidbey Island, CVV VOR. The 349 if I've already got this open. The 349 or 350 from Pen Cove, 15.4 on the DME, that will fly us right over the top. So when we get to Bacon, that's what we're going to do. So, in Flight Sim, let's go back to our flight plan here. After Bacon, we will be landing at 7-4 Yes. That will be where we go. I want 117.2. 2. Nav 1. I'm also going to put it in Nav 2 for now. To make sure, and it's showing up as CVV, that's fine. And it'll be the 350 is what we're looking for. So once we get to Bacon, that's when I'm gonna switcheroo at Bacon so that we can then intercept that on our main CDI. That's what we're going for. That is what we're going for. So yeah, it's not really much to see when the conditions are like this, unfortunately. We just have to monitor everything and make sure T's and P's are all good. Richen the mixture a little bit and just see what that does to our cylinder head temperature, see if that brings that up, sorry, down a little bit, so right on the cusp. And let's pretend we need some, oh, we don't need warm air in here. Let's... didn't realise we had that. That's interesting. Okay, so everything looks good in here so far. We are about 5 nautical miles away from the Colonel waypoint, at which point we will then be turning up. Interesting, when you switch modes it seemed to yeah, very interesting. It seemed to this autopilot I'm still getting to grips with. I realise now this is kind of like a vertical speed mode, and then that's an out arm mode. Doing 200 feet a minute, and if I go out arm at 8,000, it's now just going to drop, and we're dropping, and I don't know why. And now we're going all the way down. I honestly don't know what causes that, so there is some sort of weird issue with this autopilot at the minute, but let's just get back on 8,000, and then I'll hit altitude hold switch here. Just about to hit Colonel as well, so we should be turning any second now, so hopefully I can finish this reclimb. There we go, altitude hold. I'm also going to put arm there and re-hold altitude. So now we should be in altitude mode and actually holding it, so that's all good. Just in time for the turn. Now let's check our true airspeed. So we are currently at 8,000 feet. And the temperature is about standard, I guess, isn't it? Acknowledge that. We're at 0 degrees, so I'm going to throw the pitot heat on as well. Let's switch the approach. So yeah, we're at standard temps at 8,000 feet, so we should be doing about 157. Look at that, 157. There you go. 2974 on the altimeter here, so let's switch there. The weather in this game is so good. It really is so good. So we're on our way up to Bacon. It's just flying through different thicknesses of clouds there. That's incredible. Still can't see anything around us though, though it is much bluer here now, which is a good thing, I guess. Hopefully that bodes well for where we're heading. Ah, we're out of some clouds. Lovely, let's take a screenshot. I've just noticed that we have a co-pilot. Not anymore. And we're back in cloud. So we're now cloud surfing a bit, which is wonderful. It's good fun, as always. No point trying to climb above these for what's left of the flight. There really isn't. It's nice to be able to see some clouds there. Get some sunlight. 10 miles until we get to Bacon. Now, little nav map is telling me that ideally the top of descent is pretty much. Oh, sorry, it's not Bacon. It's Candle. Sorry, is the last waypoint. Sorry, when we're going to then intercept that radial. So it's pretty much just before we get to Candle is where top of descent is going to be, ideally, according to little nav map. So we'll see how that goes. Now at this stage I can actually descend back down to 6,000 feet, so that's what we're going to do. I only climbed to 8,000 to miss those initial mountains, so we are, unfortunately, as nice as this view is, we're going to now climb below it again, or in the thick of it. So down to 6,000, down to 6,000, oh, these click spots, 6,000 feet. Down we go. Just going to drop a bit of power off there. And let's see if I can just command to go down at about 800 sorry, feet a minute. She's about there, I think. Yep, she's holding it. There we go. That should be fine. That's what we're going to do now. We're going to climb down to 6,000 feet, at which point we'll probably be at Candle anyway, judging by the fact we're only 5 nautical miles away from Bacon itself now. Between Bacon and Candle, we've got a grand total of 10 nautical miles. Okay, so we can actually, yeah, we'll be at 6,000 feet when we get to Candle, I guess. So elevation at, ooh, let's not do that. Elevation at Anacortes. It's not telling me there. That's fine. It doesn't have to. I'll find the elevation from Sky Vector. So what's that, 241 feet? Am I reading that right? Yeah, 241. Very opportune moment to change. It's looking good. So we're now where is it? Oh no, it's bacon and then candle, isn't it? So let's fly heading hold, because it is candle 474S. So let's get that in. That was a mistake. This is not how you fly, ladies and gentlemen. Do all this stuff before you need to. So CANDL is what we're after. There it is. Candle, then 74S. Which thankfully, oh, bit of a frame drop. Now I get her on the nav hold. And I did want to be lower down than this. Come on, down you go. Right, it's going to have to be vertical speed mode. Bring it down nice and quick, come on. Back in the murky stuff again. 118.2, acknowledge handoff.
For Tree Sierra Lima. When we approach November 9er in Tree Sierra Lima, 5,300 feet.
Oh, I was already at 6,000.
November 9er in Tree Sierra
I read the altimeter wrong.
approach, continue to cancel
Silly me.
plan. Altimeter 29.74.
29.74 is all still good. So we're at 5,000 feet. We're a bit below altitude. Silly me. I wasn't paying attention at all there. That's fine. We're going to switch on to heading hold now anyway. And I'm going to switch over to nav. And the course .35. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I hate it when it does the skip. So 169 should be the equivalent of 359, shouldn't it? .350 is what we want. And the needle is moving. I'm going to start bringing us down now, gently. At about 300 feet a minute. Starting to see some stuff outside now. Hopefully, we're out the worst of the weather. That would be the ideal thing. So I know I've got this set as a 2, and we're technically fromming at the moment, or are we? We should be 2ing actually. CVV. We should be going 2. So the 350 course there is wrong, but anyway. Turn on nav hold now. So you should hold that radial, and then within 10 nautical miles I'm going to get on the old radio. Turn off the pitot heat now, by the way. Oh, that's the boost pump. That's the pitot heat. And actually, yeah, let's switch over to the right-hand pump as well. Recognition lights off at this stage. Oh no, actually I'll keep them on. Since we are flying through some thick stuff. Bit of turbulence there. So we're established on the radio now. I'm going to synchronise the heading bug. Just under 10 nautical miles away now, so I'm going to cancel flight following. And I'm going to tune to Anacortes CTAF. Also need to get ourselves... Oh no, I clicked the wrong thing. I clicked the wrong thing. Oh no. I have to request to... Oh, that's annoying. Yeah, acknowledge score code. Right. Acknowledge radar contact, then I'm going to have to recancel it again. Now cancel flight following. Nearest airport list. There we go. Now we should see Anacortes. Tune the traffic. Select a runway for landing. Runway 18. Full stop landing. 18. Full stop landing. Announce position.
74 Sierra traffic, November 983 Sierra Lima, 7 miles north, 3,600 feet inbound.
Way off the descent profile here, so let's drop the power back. Let's get ourselves sinking down. Let's get ourselves configured properly here. Once let's also bring in the speed brakes. There they are. To just bring that airspeed under control while we descend, so we don't cover too much ground speed. And I'm going to go onto heading hold. Should be able to see the field soon. That looks like it over there. Potentially. I'm going to say that is it. So I've now got visual, which is great. Speed brakes can come back out. I'm going to get myself down to about 1,200 feet, so we can actually shallow. Oh, wrong way. shallow this up. You can actually fly a pattern here, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to just get that on a little map. I'm going to go traffic pattern 418, so I can see exactly what needs to happen. So let's turn this way for now. Let's prepare for a downwind entry. When we get to 1200 feet, I'm going to hold there at that altitude. And I'm going to turn on my landing lights in anticipation for being at that altitude. So there's 1300 feet. There's 1200 feet, that'll be pattern altitude. So let's get back to more of a cruise speed. So let's set ourselves at 18 inches. And I'm just going to lean out for some economy there. We're all good. I'm just flying us round and skirting around the traffic pattern at the moment. I didn't check to see if it was a right pattern actually, did I, on this field? Doesn't look like it is. So that's fine. Let's get back on flight sim. And now I'm just going to tune to a completely different nav frequency just so I can set this course to 180 just to give me an idea of the runway direction. So now I'm going to turn. Oh, these click spots. Just off of runway heading to fly so that we can then shortly intercept on a 45 the downwind leg. I'm just going to re-announce my position.
74 Sierra traffic November 9er 83 Sierra Lima 5 miles east 1,100 feet inbound to land runway 18.
Let's just do an approach checklist. So we are on the fullest tank on the right tank. Flaps are up. The airplane is all stable at altitude, pattern altitude. We're all good. Everything is set up where we need it to be. Yeah, we're all good. Fantastic. I'm just going to tune that back to 180 exactly. Get ready to enter the downwind at any second once we get roughly midfield. I've got a 2 mile pattern set, so 2 mile away from the downwind's 2 mile across from the runway. Okay, that should be alright. I'm concerned about these hills here. They do look like they might be in the way of the downwind approach, but that's fine. Let's start to turn in to enter at 45. Just take over and get this turn a bit sharper myself. Woohoo! Yeah, that took over then, that's quite funny. Okay. So we're approaching the downwind on a 45 now. Make sure we're in the correct altitude hold mode. Also going to start bringing the power back now to slow the plane up. Let's turn ourselves onto the downwind. Overshot it a little bit, so I'm just re-correcting there. And I'm going to announce that we're on the downwind leg.
74 Sierra traffic November 983 Sierra Lima is on downwind runway 18.
So let's get this plane slowed up. So I'm going to bring the power back and get a notch of flaps in. And I've gone full prop. Oh my god, the cliff switch. Right, let's correct back onto the downwind again properly. I'm going to be approaching at about 75 knots as before. Just about to turn onto base now. Let's announce that.
74 Sierra traffic November 983 Sierra Lima is on base
Second
runway
notch of
18.
flaps. A little bit more power. There's the runway coming up. Actually going to start descending now. The autopilot off. And I'm going to start turning us to final. A little bit early there. Concentrating on what I was doing, but that's fine. Don't have to fly exactly. I know, I know. So I'm going to announce I'm on final.
74 Sierra traffic November 983 Sierra Lima is on final
And
runway
I'm full
18
mixture.
to land.
Let's get the gear down. Pitch up a little bit. Let's try and get our speed down to 75 knots. I'm going to drop that last stage of flaps in now as well.
Weed 210 at 4 knots.
Alright, so we're onto the glide slope, so just a little bit more power is coming in now. Wind's at 240, which is just pretty much just off our 1 o'clock or so. A bit more power in, slow that rate of descent up a bit. Turbulence there, or a bit of air coming up off the land, but it's all good. Not quite on the centre line, but it's okay. Going to drop the power out. Just float her on down. Hold her off.
Landing time
And we're
logged.
down.
Landed at 74 Sierra, Anna Courts.
Wonderful stuff. Recognition lights off. Flaps can come up. I'm going to lean for ground. Come past the out short. Landing and strobes off, taxi lights on. Let's announce we're clear of the runway.
74 Sierra traffic November 983 Sierra Lima is clear of the runway.
there we go. We are now at 74S. Now, I don't actually know the layout. I don't have a chart. But it looks as if there's some kind of apron coming up on our right, so that's where we're going to head. Get that? Yeah, fuel's leaned out. The mixture's leaned down just right. Don't know where I'm going to go. I'm going to turn left right here. Follow sort of behind these guys, I guess. I'll just pull up to the right here, I think. Something like that. I don't know how close I am. I'm not far off, but not quite on. It's got to be close, isn't it? Yeah, close enough. Close enough for my liking. Parking brakes on. Just verify they're on. I didn't hear a click. They are. Right, so taxi lights off. I'll throw the navs off at this stage. Okay, let's... rudder trim's fine. Elevator trim, let's reset back. Takeoff, which it is. Elevator trim can come off now. Let's reset the autopilot, so that is now off. And verify, yep, there we go, that's fine. Transponder can go to off. Everything else looks good there. I'm not going to do a ground check on the mags. The fuel is still on the right tank at the moment, but let's power things down. So avionics off. And let's take our mixture.
Engine off, time logged.
Idle
End of
cut off.
flight. Registered in OnAir company.
OnAir switch off. Master caution off there. So good. Let's throw the mags off. Everything all looks good there. Let's throw the fuel off. Brilliant stuff. I did have lights on, so let's just turn those off next time the battery used, and the beacon lights can come off, and so can the master battery. There we go. As that little bad boy starts up. So that's the flight done. Let's go into little nav map now, and I'm just going to double check that the performance. So we consumed about £39, about 6 gallons there. Used about £3 in the taxi. Climb, we did climb pretty heavy because of course the conditions were a lot worse than we anticipated, so we shot up to try and get above the terrain. So that's probably a far more aggressive climb than I would normally do, but it doesn't look too far off. About 105 knots I normally climb out at, so that's not bad. The cruise, well, that's all about right, and the descent was very gradual. So let's just merge those stats across. So yeah, we'll merge that. We'll merge all of that across. There doesn't look like anything that's going to be a weird outlier that's going to give us a strange... I think so. No, that's absolutely fine. So we will merge everything there and click OK, and we will save the aircraft performance chart for the next flight. And talking about that, let's reset all for a new flight. So the next time we fly, it is all ready and waiting for us. And that's little nav map done. Let's come out of the sim, because I am going to log off now and have dinner. That's what I'm going to do next. So yes, we don't need you. Let's get back into OnAir and make sure... I didn't end up using Joy to key in the end, so I can actually close that, can't I? And let's go to OnAir. There we go. Everything looks good there. So that should have actually given us a big payout. So if I just look at the income statement, nope, that's not what I meant. Cash flow statement. We should have just had a huge payout. But we haven't. Why not? Oh no, because that's why. Because I've only flown to the start of where the mission is at this point. The mission is going to be the very next step. Silly me. Well, I'm actually going to load that on now while we're here. So let's prepare. Still got more than enough fuel for the next leg of the flight. I know we're not going to need any more than about 30 gallons on board. We're going to need to split this job though. So how many can I can't remember how many passengers I can take now. Not that many. How many passengers can I take? That's a very, very good looking question, Seb. Let's find out. Details. Never actually checked the pax capacity of this. Maximum seats 3. So, yes, we're not taking 5, are we? So me and 3 passengers. Let's just confirm that corresponds to what is in this way in balance. Pax forward, pax second row, pax second row. Yes, that's right. And then some baggage. That is about right. Anyway, we're done with flight sim, so we can quit out of that. And we'll go back to OnAir. So I can only take 3 passengers. So we're going to take 3 the first flight, I think, and then we'll take 2 the next. So pending jobs. Nope, that's not what I wanted at all. I wanted to prepare the plane. We'll take 3 the first. Put those on board. Nicely under everything that we need there. So let's just confirm fuel and payload. So that's all going to be loaded on. And I'll fly this flight some other time. Maybe later, I don't know. I'm going to have some dinner and then I'm going to see how I feel. Otherwise, that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching. If you've been following along, if not, if you watch it later, thank you very much for watching. And if you feel so inclined, please do like and subscribe as well. Subscribe if you want. I'm not a regular content creator. I just do this for a bit of fun. But do like, because that's just nice to know that somebody's enjoyed what I've done. If you have any questions, fire away. If you've got any suggestions for how I can improve things, I've got some ideas in mind just to make the general look of everything much better. I'm going to set up an additional little monitor as well so that I can have some more things on display that I can see, and it'll be easier for me to then bring those up as nice graphics, sort of showing you what I'm looking at on the screen whilst I'm streaming. But yeah, if you've got any ideas for how I can improve things, then please do let me know. I know, by the way, the audio quality is not great. That's because I'm using my headset microphone. It's just easy. I've got like a yoke and a throttle quadrant and everything on my desk, and then having a microphone mounted is just going to be a bit awkward at this stage. Yeah, I also, just may as well mention it whilst we're here, I am planning on building, never done it before, but I do plan on building some homemade controllers. So I want a controller with some push button rotary encoders so that I can control radio frequencies, I can control OBS and course knobs and the autopilot, vertical speed and altitudes, without having to. You heard me complaining this whole time about click spots. It's my bugbear in virtual cockpits. So I'm going to build that. And some switches, and in anticipation for a Twin Otter being made by Aerosoft for this new flight sim, I'm actually going to also make, whether I do it at the same time or down the line, I'm going to make an overhead panel, but I won't have it overhead, but it'll be a correctly laid out overhead panel of a Twin Otter with all these switches and so on that I will have mounted to the side, and I can also use it for other planes as well, but it will be very much for the Twin Otter, which is going to be my main aircraft of choice when that is released, because I just love a Twin Otter. But the first thing first is going to be making just a series of rotary encoders that I can use for very, very easily using all the twisty dials and things that I need to fiddle with in the middle of a flight, so that I can look at the instrument in the virtual cockpit, but I don't have to worry about trying to hover a mouse over it and operate a click spot or drag a scroll wheel over something whilst the camera is shaking and moving. And it's extremely immersion breaking for me. It's extremely frustrating, and I just want that ease of use. Because I do also plan on flying more with online ATC. I've got plans to potentially subscribe to Pilot Edge and fly down there, which means I need to just be able to make my workload much easier if I'm handling radio frequencies and IFR instrumenting stuff. So I just, to make it easy, that's what I plan on doing. I've got a week off of my full-time job coming up very soon, so I think if I can do enough research ahead of time and get the parts ordered and make sure I know what I'm getting myself into, and I can have that all waiting for me, I will do that build. Now, I don't know if I'm going to record the build or anything. I don't know yet, because this is a big experiment. I've never done it before. But I might. But either way, when I've got somewhat of a finished product or something to show, I'll certainly show that on here as well, so you guys can see, and I'll offer any advice and help I can as a newcomer to doing such a thing, if any of you are interested in doing it too. Anyway, enough rambling on. That's it for now. I may be back on later. If not, I'll be back on at another time. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. And